Dr. Terry Levine here with the Modern Coaching Method podcast, and I'm getting to do my favorite thing that we do once a month, each month, every single month, and that is I get to bring some cool folks together to connect and collaborate. You get to meet them, and if you want to be at one of these, then on the Modern Coaching Method podcast, simply go over to Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine. You will see there is a link to join us every single month so you too can connect and collaborate. Delighted that you are joining us today for this episode of the Modern Coaching Method. And again, it's not just me, it's all these amazing people that you're going to hear from in just a moment. So today, I want to begin with a quick teaching point. And I was giving some thought to this and even talked about this a bit on Facebook yesterday. I constantly speak with people in the business of transformation, whether they're a coach, a consultant, a mentor, a speaker, a trainer, an author, it doesn't matter. And what I hear from them is, I'm sitting behind my computer, I'm creating PowerPoints, I'm creating banners, I'm writing books, I'm going on podcasts, I'm doing all of these things. And somehow, none of that is monetizing. By the way, that's no surprise to me, okay? Then I met with this one gal, and she came to me and said, I really want a book deal. I want to be a published author like you, Terry. And I've been working on it for 2 years. But because I was working on it, I couldn't even pay attention to getting new clients. And I said, well, are you making any money? Well, no, I'm working on my book. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me as an author who's been published by some large publishing houses. So I can tell all of you, like I told her, without a large following, without a large audience, you're never going to get a publishing deal. It's the first thing a publisher looks for. How many people can you access? Because they're in the business of selling books, not really in publishing books, in selling books. So what I find is that these people, maybe like you, they come to me and they say, I'm in the business of transformation. And yet, what they're really in the business of is non-paid content creation. They are sitting around and they're not helping anyone with real transformation. Yeah, I see Derek's like, yeah, right? We see this all day long. So you have to have a brand, a following, and a platform in order to create impact, influence, and thereby income. When I was talking to this gal, she said, well, maybe I should self-publish a book. I said, you don't have an audience. Until you have a group of hungry buyers, you can publish all the books you want. No one's going to buy them. And you're not in the right business. You want to be in the business of creating transformation. So let's see you create transformations every single day. And that's the most important teaching point that I can give you and that I can give her. All of you, like me, we're in the business of transformation. And what we all get paid for is creating transformation. So I don't want you to be this coach, all right, or consultant or transformationist or healer or whatever it is you do. The one who sits around creating PowerPoints and banners and photos and writing reports and books and coming up with your next pitch and how you're going to close someone, blogging, podcasting, articles, inventing a bunch of tools, because none of that will get you income. And none of that will let you do what you're here to do, which is transform people's lives. So let me give you your action steps. The first step to build a community is to connect heart to heart. Isn't this all about connecting heart to heart today here in the Modern Coaching Method? It is. We're all going to have connection heart to heart. You're going to get to know each other. The folks who are watching are going to get to know you. And listen, I don't care if you start a small coaching, consulting program or whatever it is you do with 3 people or 5 people or a Facebook group with 40 people. It doesn't matter. Every day, wake up and share your knowledge and create genuine heart-to-heart conversations. Create connection. Create community. We're creating community here. I'm taking time, you're taking time to be together, have a heart-to-heart connection, get to know each other. People do business with people they know, like, and trust, and to create community. So I want you to begin to engage and educate your community. Get them to pay attention to you by giving them a lot of value. I had a client family member the other day, and some of my clients may have seen this, and she said, oh, I did a challenge and I think I gave away too much information. I'm like, you can never give away too much information. I pull back the curtain and give it all away. Just give it away. I believe in abundance. People need help implementing. They don't need help getting more knowledge. So give them all the knowledge you have, educate and engage with them. And then what will happen is your community will start to pay attention to you. And I recommend that you think about what are the real challenges in your community, and then you address those challenges and you help them. Okay, so that's your teaching point here today from the Modern Coaching Method. So now we're going to have a lot of fun. And again, those of you who are watching, if you want to join us next month in the Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine Facebook group, there is a link on how to get on these Zooms. We do one connect and collaborate every single month, and you can join us. So what I'm going to do is go around our virtual room. I'm going to call on one person at a time. They're going to have 1 full minute, and I will be timing them. When you hear this, your minute is up. And what you're going to share is your name, what kind of transformations you create, what kind of the business you're in, and how you want to connect and collaborate. So what are you looking for? Maybe you're looking for getting on a podcast. Maybe you're looking for someone who wants to join your coaching program or your Facebook group, or maybe you're looking for a playmate to run a mastermind with. Be creative, have an ask, and we're all here to play. All right, so I'm going to go around in my little Hollywood squares the way I see them. So I'm going to ask Jay to unmute first.
Okay.
Hey,
hi, everyone. Jay Rumbach. I'm founder of Reinventing You. It's my first solo venture, and I help people in middle age whose life has really taken a turn for the worst, where disruptive change has really put people in what I call a crisis of hope, where they don't know where to turn or what to do. So I help people clear out their past and who they have been to create a new beginning of who they can be. And I'm looking for collaborators. I'm just starting. I'm looking for visibility, whether it's podcasts, live events. I've been on a few. I'm looking to grow my client base and my network. And it's nice to meet everybody. And that's me. I'm in Miami, Florida.
You made it. You had 10 seconds left. That was brilliant. So Jay, when you get a second, go into the chat and you can drop in all your contact info. And then for the rest of my peeps that are here, you can go ahead and you can save the chat. There's 3 little dots in the chat, save chat, and then you'll be able to make connections with one another after. Awesome. All right, now we're going to go to Valerie. Valerie, you can unmute.
Hi, thank you for hosting this event. I'm really excited to be here. Okay, I don't want to waste any of my 1 minute. So the result of my coaching is people learning how to confidently design and build a life that makes their heart sing. When I work with coaches, it's about making sure they have confidence in the foundation they're building their coaching practice on. That way, their authenticity shines through with a vibration that attracts the right clients. With individual clients, it's similar, except that we really focus on starting points, because if you don't know where you're starting from, there's no way to plot a course to a life that makes your heart sing. There's no way to measure progress either. The only other thing I can add is that I love my work because I get to inspire and work with so many awesome and amazing people. And I'm kind of new to the game. I've been a self-publishing expert for many, many years. And so I'm shifting over to using that expertise to help coaches and people just really live their lives. So that's me.
Oh, perfect timing. Awesome. Great to have you. Glad that you joined us. And then just go ahead and drop your info in the chat also, Valerie. And for all my peeps here, don't forget, you can register for all of the upcoming Connect and Collaborates. And we are actually going to have a very different one next month with a ton of folks on. I've invited some very special folks, so you'll want to be on that one too. All right, Alexi, good to have you. You can unmute.
Hello, Terry. And I love helping high-level business professionals and small business owners to double their income in 6 to 12 months, guaranteed, with a simple 3-step process that is called One Relationship Way Blueprint. We will make sure to clarify your mission and vision, shift and protect your mindset, and create or upgrade your mastermind so you can achieve the results, just like Janine did. 56 years old, 5 kids, 4 hours of sleep a night, 3 jobs, killing herself, went to one business that tripled her income, and she could live the life of her dreams. I would love to connect and help you to do the same by either going to networkandgrowrich.com or just scanning the QR code. And I would love to collaborate, whether through podcasts, having you as a guest on my show, or being a guest on yours. And if you'd like to connect and I can help, please join my group and let's make things happen. Remember, you're just one relationship away from the life of your dreams or the impact you can create in the world. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, Alexi, that was absolutely beautiful. And so, Alexi, I would be happy to do a podcast exchange with you. So just reach out to my email address. I think you have that. And, I'll drop it in there just in case you don't. And we will arrange that. And anyone else who has a podcast, make sure I'm spelling it right. Anyone else who has a podcast, if you want to do a podcast exchange, we do a live podcast interview with my co-host, Velma Gallant, who is amazing. And we reach about 7,100 people in the Heartrepreneurs Facebook group. And then Velma and I share that on all of our social media channels, reaches tons of people, and on our YouTube. And we give you the raw footage. So that would be fun. And we're matchy, so we've got to do it. All right. Now I'm going to bring on Ken Attard, who is one of my long-term client family members, who is just crushing it and is someone to role model. Go ahead, Ken.
Hi, great to be here. Oh, I just froze. Okay. My name's Ken Attard. I am based on the island of Malta in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. And I help frustrated entrepreneurs to adapt and pivot. Using my proprietary ARC method, they are able to have more time freedom guaranteed. And right now, what I am really, really looking for is, I'd love to be on a podcast. Love being a guest on a podcast is something I truly love doing. But right now, what I'm looking for more than anything is really I'm doing these breakthrough sessions, which are between 90 and 2 hours long, 90 minutes and 2 hours long, where I sit down with an individual, either online or in person. But I'm really particularly looking for people who want to have these breakthrough sessions, entrepreneurs who want to have these breakthrough sessions in North America. So if anybody knows anybody that might be looking for a mindset shift so that they can really have the life that they want, have the time freedom, specifically entrepreneurs, yet it is open to anybody. But I really do love working with entrepreneurs. And this is what I'm really, really looking for at this point in time. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. And you can drop info into the chat. And, Ken, we might have you do like a mini breakthrough session with someone live in the Facebook group, if that resonates with you, on one of the Tuesday 2 p.m. trainings. So drop me a message in the Slack channel. We'll arrange that. I think folks watching you do that will learn a lot from you vicariously. By the way, if you're not a member of Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine and Facebook, join and then be active. All of the folks that are active are getting attention. The people who post and comment are telling me already that people are finding them and discovering them. So your potential client family members may be in there. It's not all about Terry Levine. It's Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine. So I invite you to connect and collaborate in there as well. All right. Derek looks like he was driving and now he's at a location. Derek, can you unmute and share? I hope so.
Yes, I can. So I'm Derek Smith, and I help people transform pain into purpose and passion, and help them become stronger so they can live life on their terms. And I am looking to connect and collaborate and offer breakthrough sessions with anyone who is willing to reach out. So
Awesome.
Kind of what I have right now.
What is your special niche?
My special niche right now is I don't really have a special niche, honestly. It's kind of what I'm working on still.
Perfect.
I just have such a wide demographic of people I work with. I train so many people that it's just, I get lost in that, trying to narrow it down.
So I'll just speak to Derek and jump mute for a second. This will be relevant for everyone who's here now and everyone who watches and listens later. The best way to discover our niche isn't to pick one. And this is contrary to what so many coaches and consultants say. So I'm going to make two contrary statements. One thing that people say is figure out your passion and the money will follow. Ha, 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 ha. Maybe my passion is making quilts. Maybe my passion is sewing buttons. Okay, that doesn't mean that I have a group of buyers for that. So I have lots of passions that are outside of business consulting, and I do them, and I don't get paid for them. It's just part of my life, part of how I live. I teach people how to live a minimalist life. I teach friends and family how not to keep acquiring more stuff and how to truly live in joy and in peace. I teach people how to eat a gluten-free life because I know how to do that. I don't get paid for that. I don't try to make a business out of that. It's just stuff I love to do, okay? Volunteer. So the way that we figure out our niche is not to go, oh, I'm going to work with female attorneys who blah, blah, blah. And then if I say to you, great, do you know 200 of them, 100, 500, 50? Are you one of them? Well, no. I'm going to help people lose weight. Great. How many people have you helped lose weight before? Well, I lost weight. Okay, great. What you need to do is just what Derek is doing. So take a moment. I really want to embrace this. And this is part of what we teach at the Modern Coaching Method. And he's doing it perfectly, which is I'll go do transformations for everyone under the sun because I know how to transform. And as I'm doing more and more transformations, sometimes you choose the market, but mostly in my 44 years of experience now, the market chooses you. Remember that, write that down. And Lexi's like, yes, the market chooses you. I used to think that I was going to choose the market. So when I started in my business, I was choosing the market. And every month, 15 to 20 coaches or consultants were banging on my door saying, can you help me? I'm like, no, I don't work with coaches and consultants. And then one day I went, what is wrong with you? The coaches and consultants are begging for you to help them. Why are you saying I don't do that? So then I shifted my business. I started a coach training school. I started a consulting institute with Pete Winarski. I started focusing on the areas that I had people banging down my doorstep, and I've never looked back. Okay, so that's an important lesson. I'm glad that came up. Thanks for being open, Derek, and for sharing. Now we're going to go over to Stella Ho, and before Stella introduces herself, she is another long-term client family member. Stella does amazing work in the world, so you're going to also want to connect with Stella. Trust me, I know her from the heart. Stella, go for it.
Thank you, Terry. I have a very bad voice today. Yeah, I help coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs create and scale their revenue just by shifting their mindset with my proprietary Mindset to Profit program. And this is guaranteed. And I've helped people from suffering from zero income during the pandemic to earning their six-figure income, just shifting their little mindset of theirs. And I'm looking for collaboration in terms of podcasting. If I love to hop on your podcast, I can talk about money mindset, which I've done for a couple of groups before, and how to look at your inner fears that block you from your business success. So one of the things I specialize in is inner childhood fears. I help people discover what's that fear blocking them from moving forward in life. And with that, remove miracles happens. Yeah, like six figures just came because she was able to find her fear of rejection came from her father. And with that removed, she was able to cold call. She's able to reach out to her clients, networking, just come in naturally for one of my clients, Joyce Pellegrini, and a couple of them. So I also do all these breakthrough calls. So if you guys want to find out what's that fear blocking you from your success, from moving forward into what you're doing, I love to connect that way.
Perfect. Thank you, Stella. And thank you still showing up, being here, even though you haven't felt well and your voice is not the normal strength. So I always appreciate that, Stella. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very much. Now we're going to go over to Leon, a new client family member. So happy to have you. So Leon, you can unmute and share.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Terry, for inviting me to this call. My name is Leon. I'm based in Dubai. What I do is that I support individuals seeking a new career growth or a new career path with my trademark Leon proven proprietary process to obviously to help them secure their next role or to move into a new promotion guaranteed. I would love to, like most everybody's saying, to get on a podcast. I have conducted an interview previously on career discussions topics, as well as HR operational alignment, because that is my background. So that would be great, and that's me.
Awesome, beautiful. Very happy to have you. Very succinct. And if some of you have been here maybe once or twice before, you can also start to notice how people refine their message more, right? The more that we practice our message, the better we get at delivering it. And the more you can hear other people model how they do a message, like Stella using a client example, Alexa using a client example, people live vicariously through the success of other people. So just think about this. If I showed up on a podcast or a call and said, oh my gosh, I'm amazing, let me tell you how amazing I am, right? That's an advertisement and people don't tend to believe us. However, if a client family member shows up and shares their story, that changes everything. So if they can't show up, I can share their story and I can say, let me tell you a story about Barbara Portsline, who in less than 6 weeks made an additional $348,000 using my process. Okay, that's a whole different ballgame than me preaching that I'm great. Is everybody clear? Everybody get that? So I just can't help it. You guys all know me and gals. I have to drop in teaching nuggets every step of the way. That's who I am. That's what I do. I do, as a reminder, if you're not subscribed to the Modern Coaching Method podcast, I want you to do two things. One, I want you to subscribe. They're 3 to 5 minutes, and they are just a quick nugget, just like I'm dropping in here, that you learn from. The second thing, I would love your 5-star reviews. And that's something you can all ask for and connect and collaborate with each other. Reviews, testimonials, right? So I always want to remind you, don't forget when someone has attended something and they like something of yours, ask them to either spread the word or to give you a review. By the way, I put a post, I think it was the other day, at my Facebook personal page, V. Terry Levine. And what I put on there were, here's ways that you can support a friend's small business. Some of you may have seen it. And it wasn't go buy from them, although certainly that is one of the things. Go share, go talk about them on social media, go write a review about them on Facebook, on Google, go endorse them on LinkedIn. There's so many ways that you can help each other. So when you're thinking about for next month, I want all of you back next month, when you're thinking about our collaboration next month, I'm going to encourage you and challenge you lovingly to be even more creative and say, what else could I ask for? And the second thing I'll say before we go to Regina is make your asks big. So let me give you an example. I wanted to be on a certain television show, it was about 8 years ago. And so I was in a forum where people got to give an ask, and most people were giving asks like, be on a podcast or can be interviewed in your Facebook group or whatever. And I gave a huge ask. I'm like, I want to be on In Focus TV. It's local here in Pennsylvania. I've been on every major network. I want to be on In Focus because it's a 30-minute deep dive into someone's business, and they give you a copy of the interview. And I just can't seem to, make headway with In Focus, even though it's a small show compared to all the big shows. 25 minutes after we got off the collaboration, someone messaged me and said, I just reached out to a friend. And they said, yes, they know the person at In Focus, give them a day or two. Well, they didn't just know the person, they knew the interviewer. 3 days later, that Saturday, I was on In Focus TV for a really fun interview that promoted my business, my book, and back in the day, you got a copy of the interview, right? It was like a VHS tape, literally like 8 years ago. However, I still had the copy of it that I could use. So that's my other challenge, is think about how can I make my asks even bigger? All right, we're going to go over to Regina. You can unmute, and before Regina speaks, I will say Regina is a long-term client family member also. She also does some work for us over at Heartrepreneur. She's amazing at what she does and the kind of help that she does in the world. Regina.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I popped in a little bit late here. I'm actually away for a couple of days on a anniversary vacation, and I went, oh my gosh, it's after 9 o'clock. Quick, jump on your phone. So here I am. And what I do is I help women entrepreneurs move from overwhelmed to overjoyed in their businesses, guaranteed, using my proprietary Finding Me method. What it is it's a step-by-step method for shifting and transforming your mindset to be in the mindset of an entrepreneur. There's a lot of things that go on in our heads as entrepreneurs, and a lot of times that overwhelm creeps in for all of the things that we think we need to do and all of the things that are going on and coming at you a lot of times as a solopreneur. There's a lot of things that are coming at you and you think you have to do it all and you really don't. And I help people shift their mindset and find other ways to go about it to create that overjoy again in your business. It's basically, why did you go in the business in the first place? You didn't go in to be miserable and overwhelmed all the time. You went in because you love what you do. I help people get back to loving what they do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Don't forget to drop your info in there. I hope you're having a great anniversary vacation, and thank you for joining us. Happy anniversary. All right. So a couple of other quick things since we do have a few minutes. Feel free to use the link. It's in the Heartrepreneurs with Facebook group to invite people to next month also. And here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to teach you guys a little something special since you joined me today. I would recommend that you invite one or two of your own prospects or client family members. Let me tell you why. It's a little secret here. When you invite a prospect, number one, that's definitely goodwill. And number two, when that prospect gets to hear more of what you do, how you connect and collaborate, and that you are sharing and giving them a forum to connect and collaborate, you are creating community with them. Number two, when you bring one of your own client family members, your students, whatever it might be, that can be great reinforcement. So if Alexi gave us his example and then said, by the way, Terry, she's here, I could have turned to her and said, I'd like you to go next. First of all, tell us about your experience with Alexi. Again, that has a lot more power and meaning. And number two, then she gets a chance to present. So I'm going to ask all of you to start being a little bit creative and start thinking, who can I invite that would absolutely be able to connect? And what other groups could you possibly be in where some of those people hang out? So I'm going to give you an example. I love to teach by example. I'm in a coaching group. Some of you may be in there, and I go in maybe once a week, and I see whether there's any post that I could add value or comment on. And this week, I put in a post very similar to what I shared with you in the training at the beginning of this call, which is not hiding and creating a bunch of content, just creating transformation. I love hearing all of you like, I'm doing breakthroughs. That's what we do. So I made a comment, I made a post about it. And I didn't do it for the sake of, let me go find a whole bunch of people. And in that, because it's not my group, I didn't say, raise your hand if you want more info. I just made the post. This morning, I have 16 people who found a way to message me either by email or by Messenger saying, you're the kind of coach I've been looking for. Are you taking new clients? Do you have any programs? That's what I teach in Modern Coaching Method. That's reverse marketing. That's them coming to you and raising their hands, right? So I really want you to think about that. And I really want you to think about how you can share things in a group. So let me give you one other example. I went into a group last month and I shared about our little connect and collaborate and just said, hey, we're doing this, we're members of the group. I'd love to know and come. And we had several of them on last month. I'm in touch with people I hadn't been in touch with. I met new people. I've embraced them in the community. And then it's not about whether they buy a program, product, or service. I really want to be clear here. It's about connecting heart to heart for the sake of connecting heart to heart. It's about creating one transformation at a time, because that's the business that we're all in, creating transformation. So now I'm going to give you all, you're very fortunate because this is a smaller group today, so the right people always show up. I'm going to give you a moment. If there's someone here in particular you want to connect and collaborate with, you can unmute and you can tell that person, hey, I'd like to connect with you on. So I'm going to just let you all play on your own. So unmute whenever you want, speak, and I really want you to think about this. Your great opportunity you're getting. Don't be shy.
And I had, this is Jay, I had reached out to a couple already. Regina, I'd like to follow up with you. I have Derek, I'd like to touch base with Valerie. I see some possible synergies there. And with all of you, I just see some those that kind of resonated with what I do. So great group and a pleasure to meet everyone.
Brilliant. Before I forget, Derek did have to jump off because he's at work. Let's just all take a little smiley photo together because I want people to see who is here. I will give us a countdown in just a moment. Hang on. Everybody's looking good. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you. Ken, you can unmute next.
I reached out to Leon. Because I think there's a potential there to collaborate, because people looking to potentially get promotions and definitely have to shift their mindset. So I think there is potential for us to maybe be able to collaborate there.
Brilliant.
Plus, he's in Dubai. He's a little closer.
I know, isn't that cool?
Exactly.
Just a little bit closer.
I think 4.5 hours, Ken.
Well, that's a lot closer than most of the folks from Canada.
Yeah.
Who else?
That's for me right now.
Okay. Alexi, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that I would be honored to be on your podcast. You know that your family and Ken would love to connect. We've seen each other enough. It's time for us to, book a time and make it happen. Would love to have you on my podcast.
Awesome. That's what's happening. All right, Leon, you're next. You can unmute.
Thank you. So obviously, yes, connecting with Ken. I would love to catch up with Stella. I've been following Stella's website and her activities. Plus, she's based in Singapore, I believe, right, Stella? Yeah. So that would be great to learn a bit more. And Terry, one of my big asks is I would love to get on and have a 30-minute chat with Velma, like the way that John Sadesh had just recently. So an interview with Velma would be fantastic.
That's a great ask. So because you are a client family member, I'll make that happen. Send an email to terry@heartrepreneur.com and we'll make that happen. We're going to do more and more featuring all of you on Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine and less of me showing up and doing training. So I'm going to give the floor over in particular to long-term client family members like Ken, like Regina, like Stella, like Velma. However, I'm going to give client family members lots of opportunities. People need to hear your voices. Valerie, you can unmute.
Thank you. Just the way you phrase that helped me realize there is something specific I haven't asked, and that is that I have like a proprietary little piece of information about the way our brain works that actually can break chains, past memory chains. It can literally break it, and it's science-based and it's everything. And I would love to share it with coaches. I mean, that's my big thing, because we don't have to be held hostage by our past ever again. And once you realize this, it's like, it's a mic drop moment that changes everything. And it did for me. I mean, when I realized this, it changed everything. My whole life has changed since August last year.
Is this a free tool, a paid tool?
Oh yes, I will share it with anybody. I want everybody to know what this is because it's mind-blowing. It completely changes the way you look at everything about your past. Completely.
So if you want to send it to me, my email address is in there, and get it to me. I will share it with the Heartrepreneurs group and let them know how to contact you. And that's got about 7,100 folks in there. So you'll get to transform a lot more people's lives, and they'll get to know who you are.
Okay. So do you mean like write it all out? Is that what you mean? Or
some way that I can access it so that I can give people
Okay.
access. Okay.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Terry.
You'd always have to ask. You're very welcome. Ken, go ahead.
That sounds wonderful, Valerie. I'd love to hear about that without a doubt. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Terry knows this already as well, but my big ask, man, I'm waiting to be interviewed by Oprah. So I'm just throwing it out there. If someone happens to know someone who knows someone, I'm all in.
So I'll tell you a funny story about that, and not quite Oprah. However, when I was in Mexico a couple of months ago, I literally, I didn't just bump into somebody in the pool. That's an expression. I bumped into somebody. I was doing my water aerobics. He was swimming, and we had this like little collision thing. And both of us were good spirited about it. And after he got out of the pool, we chatted. The guy was really funny. And I said, let me buy you a drink. I feel so bad. And so I bought him a drink. We sat down and chatted. And what does he do? He produces 27 major TV talk shows. Okay, 27. I won't drop his name. I didn't know who he was. My husband, when I said his name, went, how do you not know him? I'm like, I don't know him. And so I didn't say anything about the fact I'd been on a lot of talk shows. All I said was, oh, I've always wanted to meet so-and-so. And he said, I'm producing his new show. And so the way I left it, he was going to get me tickets to be in the audience. And I didn't do a big ask. I'm telling on myself. My husband walked over to him and said, I think my wife is not telling you the whole story. My wife has been on thousands of television shows, radio shows, and she wants to be on this person's show. Well, why didn't she just say that? See, lesson from me to all of you. So what is happening now is, as some of you know, I haven't been at my best health in the last few weeks. I haven't been ready to do a video interview with the producer, as you can probably see. However, hopefully next week we have it scheduled and we'll see where it goes from there. However, the lesson was, I teach all of you, ask for what you want, right? And I had this, moment of slippage, and I'm always transparent and telling myself, thank goodness my husband was there, because that would have been a moment lost. Maybe I would have had tickets to be in the audience, and I doubt that I would have flown to LA to be in the audience of a television show. So keep that in mind. I'll keep you posted on that, Ken. Regina, go ahead.
Hey, that's amazing, Terry. That's just absolutely amazing that you just happened to bump into him literally in the pool, right? So I still have my big ask right now is still Joe Vitale to be able to interview him. And the reason is that for some of you who are the long-term entrepreneur folks, client family members, I recently changed my target market. I am just about ready. I'm still in the process of shifting all of my marketing, all of my information. And then I would love to start getting in front of people to, just to meet them, to talk to them, and be able to help them or have them bring some value to my client market. And one of the things that's on my new list of things to do is to start, I'm not sure if it's going to be a bi-weekly or a monthly interview on my Facebook group. And I want to bring other folks like you all. I think everybody on this call right now could add value to be interviewed on a Facebook Live on my women business owners from overwhelmed to overjoyed group, so that I could add more value to the folks in there and actually build that group up. So if anybody's interested in being one of those interviewees on my page, that would be great. I am literally in the beginning stages of getting all that set up.
Well, I can make the Joe Vitale thing happen. As a client, you're in the Slack channel with me, so just make the ask in the Slack channel. I actually spoke to Joe yesterday, and he's a good friend of mine, so I'm sure that we'll make that happen. Yeah, that's
amazing.
why we have to ask. Alexi, I think you said it in the chat a little while ago, we're always like, I think it's not even 6 degrees of separation. I think in the way the world is with social media, it's 1 degree. I mean, it's here, it's right here. And that's why I always say, ask, ask, ask. You just have no idea how things can unlock. Go ahead, Stella.
Since Ken talked about Oprah, I just want to share my dream this year is to get onto a TED Talk show this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is what I envision, at least step on one of the shows and share something that is meaningful, impactful for people. especially the inner childhood.
So as a person who's done some TED Talks, I know a lot of TED Talk producers. Would you be willing to fly to the United States or no? Because I can make that happen.
Of course.
Okay, well, the one that I'm thinking of, because it's very self-centered for Terry, I'll be honest, the one I'm thinking of is the one that's closest to my home, because then I would like to spend time with you.
I would love to see you.
So drop that into the Slack channel. I will introduce you to a couple of the hosts that I know that are looking for folks.
Yeah, and I also want to share my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group, and that's for actually in the long name is Wealth Creation for coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs. In the short name is Real Wealth Creation. So I love to have any one of you there, because I'm all about mindset, about business, building our business, just shifting that little mindset in us. So love to see how we can collaborate further on the show. And yeah, I love to see Alexis here. Oh.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you, Stella. And we're going to go over to Alexis. You can unmute.
Hey, Terry, I just wanted to you inspired something that I talk to my clients all the time. You know, having the secret Dream 100 list, right? The people that you would like to meet and collaborate with.
Yes.
But the thing that I add as part of my coaching is have the Now 100 list. Have the people 100 names that you can reach right away. And you would be amazing how quickly through that Now 100 list, you'll actually get to the Dream 100 list.
That is brilliant. I got some goosebumps there. I teach Dream 100. I've always believed in it. I love the concept of Now 100. That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, putting those two together are amazing. And yeah, I would love to potentially have that TED Talk connection as well. And Stella, you know, your family as well. I actually have somebody really great for you that I think could help you really structure your talk in the most powerful way possible. So just reach out.
Beautiful. Regina's got to get the car packed. Yeah, no worries. I know. Valerie, do you have anything? Did anybody else have anything real quick? I think we're pretty complete. I think we've rocked it out. Make sure you sign up for next month. Bring some clients, bring some prospects, bring some friends, share this out in other groups. And this is going to go out in our episodes, and tons of people will get to know who you are and to connect and collaborate with you. Great having you all here. Thanks for being part of Connect and Collaborate with the Modern Coaching Method. Create an extraordinary day. Much love. Bye now.